Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to another session brought to you by Accent Nominees. Your host for today is Tomi Ogule, and I'll be discussing safeguarding your asset as a startup, best practices for entrepreneurs, business owners, companies like yourself. So protecting assets cannot be overemphasized for startup. It is crucial for ensuring long-term success, and it helps you sustain your business. So there are several situations where a third party knowingly or unknowingly steals your business or your company's asset. You'll be wondering how. So let's go back to the previous discussion where we had last week, where we discussed a French pharmaceutical company where it sued two companies and one enterprise for the unlawful use of their trademark. So imagine how these businesses and companies felt when they received letters from CAC asking them to change their company name they came up with. I'm very sure if you were the one, imagine yourself in this circumstance where you came up with the name and everything just for you to get the letter from CAC telling you that that business already exists and is registered and you need to change name. Imagine most times most times business owners come, they steal our businesses, or a third party come and they steal our ideas or assets, because I notice ideas is one of the most important thing for an entrepreneur. So today I'll be discussing how you can safeguard your assets as a startup, and then what you can, one or two lessons you can take home. So why should you safeguard your assets? What are the benefits of safeguarding your assets? So number one is it will minimize loss. Like the example I gave earlier, imagine they went ahead to protect their assets, then they would not be sued for unlawful use of trademark. Let me put it that way. So it would reduce or it would minimize loss. And then the other benefit you would enjoy is that you would have total ownership of your business, of your startup, of your company, meaning that you can exclude third party from controlling your business. A third party cannot just come today and want to run or run operations of your business, because you have total ownership. People running your business are the ones you delegate roles to, delegate rights or powers to. So you have total ownership of your business. And then the other benefit you can enjoy from safeguarding your business assets is it will help you mitigate risk. So startups often face various risks, from both internal or external risk. So protecting assets would help you mitigate this risk, such as potential lawsuits. You don't want, imagine a situation like the first example I gave, because I feel like we have to keep referring back to this first example. So if you're unable to join last session, I would advise you to watch previous session. So imagine a situation whereby you are being sued for a name that you already registered, and someone else is telling you that they have total control, they can exclude third party from using that name. But in a situation whereby you safeguard your business assets, it will help you mitigate risk like that. Nobody will just come from one place and tell you that the name is theirs or you are infringing on their trademark, things like that. So it would safeguarding assets can also help you, with challenging times. One of the reasons why you need to, what are the things you can benefit from safeguarding your business assets is growth. So when your assets are being protected, you can focus on long-term growth for your business, and then without you constantly worrying about immediate financial risk. So it will help you with stability and also with strategic planning and execution, which growth is one of them. So the other benefits you can enjoy from safeguarding your business asset or company assets is brand protection and preservation. So once you protect your business assets, it helps you maintain brand reputation. People trust you. When legal battles or financial difficulties can actually tarnish a brand's image, a company's image, and then safeguarding these assets will help you prevent such. Imagine someone coming up now to coming up to claim that you infringed on their right and they're about to sue you, or anything regarding infringing on the third party's right, or that's basically a potential lawsuit, and investors would not like to invest in that kind of business. Basically, you've tarnished your brand reputation, and it is not easy to build a reputation from the scratch, and then you will have to do everything from beginning to the end just to keep that reputation intact. So the other one is exit strategy enhancement, which is one of the benefits of safeguarding business or startup assets. So if your startup actually plans to be acquired or plans on going public, company, having well protected assets can actually make your company more attractive to investors. I said it. People are trying to invest. Investors don't just invest. I know you say investors are, risking. There's one risk. Everything's all about risk. But before an investor would actually invest in your business, he or she would do due diligence. Why should I invest in this company? How many years have they been in existence? What are the history of this company? Now imagine they are checking the history and they are finding out that you have there's a current matter in court or a litigation pending or a pending litigation. Imagine how your investors would feel. So one of the other benefits you can enjoy from safeguarding or protecting your assets is credibility. Customers, clients, investors would believe you. Of course, you already built that reputation from the scratch, but protecting your assets can actually enhance your startup's credibility in the eyes of investors, in the eyes of customers and partners. People are looking forward to partner with your business. So demonstrating that your business is proactive about asset protection indicates responsible management and a commitment to long-term success or long-term expansion, business expansion, and people would want to do business with you for the fact that you're a credible business owner or your startup is a credible. So one of the benefits of safeguarding your assets is that it attracts investors. I already said this earlier, but I will try to explain better. So investors are more likely to be interested in startups that have robust asset protection. When you have measures in place or protection plan in place, then it would attract investors. It provides a sense of security that their investment will be, well managed, and that the startup is prepared for any challenges that may be coming. When you've basically fulfilled you've ticked all your legal compliance, they know, of course, this person has nothing to hide. You're not going anywhere anytime soon, and they can invest in your business. It would attract investors. Not only ROI attract investors, but the structure of your business would also attract investors. So flexible business expansion is one of the things you can enjoy, or the benefits you can enjoy from safeguarding your company's assets, your startup assets. So with protected assets, startups can confidently explore new markets, which is, you don't want to be a startup for 5 years, 10 years, and I'm still telling people that I own a startup or I'm a SME. Like, imagine, of course, the idea is for you to expand later on. Expanding is not easy, but the idea is for you to make profit and for you to expand. So when you protect your assets, you can confidently explore new markets, partner with people, your product line, knowing that the core source is actually secure. People know that, okay, your business is secure and they will want to do business with you. So I'm sure you're wondering, when will I get into this, how you can actually protect your startup? I'll be getting into it right now. So there are ways on how you can protect your assets as a startup. So here are some key considerations and ways you can protect your assets as a startup. So first of all, I've been saying this before and I'm saying it again, is legal structure. So legal structure and compliance can either make or mar your business. I said it in the first topic of the year. In fact, I keep saying it. It cannot be overemphasized. You have to put legal structure in place. Your business have to comply with the law. So it is either legal compliance help you grow your business, or legal compliance actually hinders ways from you expanding. You won't be able to go further unless you fulfill legal compliance. So you need to be able to decide and work towards appropriate legal structure for your startup. So once you come up with a business idea, it's not as if you just, after coming up with the idea, you're just trying to do business straight. You have to decide, you want to register this business. Is it a sole proprietorship? Okay, since I'm just starting small, let it be a sole proprietorship. And then okay, we are more than one, let it be a partnership. Okay, I don't want I want to be different from my business or my company. Then of course let me do limited liability company, or you can also go for a corporation. So you have to think of the implication of each. Okay, what will I benefiting from this? What will I seek to gain from this? And then if we are to look at business name, of course you get get your business get registered, but it does not differentiate you from your business. You are still the same person. Okay, why don't I go for a company whereby we are different people? My company is seen as like it is seen as an artificial body under the law. It can sue and be sued. They won't be suing me, they'll be suing my company. So you have to think of these implications. So you have to think of the pros and cons of each structure. Would partnership be the best for my company? Is it registration of limited? Should I start a sole proprietorship? What if I don't know? Most people just start business because they have this idea. They don't see themselves expanding. Then feel free to go for sole proprietorship, depending on what you feel you can benefit from the most. So you think of pros and cons. So you can also reach out to a lawyer or financial expert to help you determine the best fit for your business. Reach out, and there's not always reaching out to a lawyer in the first stage of business is actually the best stage. I know some of us have started business, but if you've not reached out to a lawyer to help you structure your business or financial expert, I would advise you to do that. So they would let you know which business and which one you should register, what you should do, agreement you should come up with. Please, let's go into the section where I'll be explaining the rest. So the second way you can actually protect your asset as a startup, apart from this legal structure, is intellectual property protection. Then we'll have to go back to the previous section, which I discussed unlawful use of registered trademark. So one of the ways you can safeguard your asset is by registering and protecting your intellectual property rights. So most times legal compliance do not only end at Corporate Affairs Commission or SEC. It goes way beyond that. What that logo you are using, that slogan you are using, is it well protected? That product you are using, so you need to go beyond normal incorporation of business. So you need to register your intellectual property. So how do you go about it? You identify your intellectual property, the one that your startup possesses. So it could be patent, it could be trademark, copyright, and trade secret. So incorporating your company is the first step to protecting your startup, but it is not the last. I think that's where the problem comes in. If you were to reverse or go back to the previous discussion we had, where I'm sure you guys were wondering how can a French company just come in and sue two Nigerian companies and enterprise for a name they already registered. It was because he registered that trademark first, and it basically protects him from third party. He has this exclusive rights. No third party can come and use that name. That was the reason why he had the right to sue those companies using his own name, like the registered trademark. So the other way you can actually protect your business or your company asset or your startup assets is by contracts and agreements. As I said, you need a lawyer from the first day you are starting your business. You need a lawyer. If you try to get one, or financial experts that will put you or help you structure your business properly. So you need contract and agreement. So to help you keep your company information from becoming public knowledge. I'm sure you don't want people finding out your, how will I put it? There's some recipes you don't want public to know, because of course that's how you stand out in the labor market. That's how you stand out in the industry. People don't know the recipe for Coke. There's a particular secret. So imagine your employee coming out with that secret, and then you can't sue your employee because there was no contract, there was no agreement between the both of you. So then how do you go from there? So the agreements would actually include non-disclosure agreements, non-compete agreement, meaning when they are working with you, after they leave your company, they can't work with a rival company maybe the next year, because imagine you worked for me and working for another person the next year. Basically, you can divulge all the information you've gotten from my company, and because you want them to like you or they want them to like them, they would divulge that information, that confidential information they've gotten from me to the other company. So what you need to do is you need to come up with a clear and comprehensive contract and agreement with clients, suppliers, partners, and employees. So, and you have to make sure to address issues like confidentiality, what and what do you want them to disclose. You have to come up with non-compete agreement, like I said. You have to come up with payment terms, is there refund? Basically, what if a dispute arose, and then how will I put it? How will you settle these disputes? What are the dispute resolution mechanisms you would be approaching? Is it litigation? Is it arbitration? Is it mediation? You know what I mean? So it should be in the contract and agreement, which is one of the ways you can protect your assets. Imagine a employee just leaves your company and starts to frustrate your business, but because you have a contract or agreement in place, you can go ahead and sue the person or write to the person telling them to desist from such acts. And because he knows that the you guys' relationship is actually backed by an agreement or contract, he would desist except he wants to be taken to court. Then the fourth one is insurance. That's another way to actually protect your assets. So you have to think what type of insurance could benefit your startup. It could be general liability insurance, it could be professional liability insurance, it could also be cybersecurity insurance. So you have to try to evaluate the cost, the cost of different insurance policies, and decide on which one that would align with your startup, one with risk tolerance that would align properly with your startup. So the other one I'm talking about is data security and privacy. So most customers or clients are very sensitive. They are sensitive when it comes to providing their details, and then you also need to treat it as such. I'm sure you're wondering how. Once you in the process of doing business with your clients, they get to provide their details to you. Then you have to protect that details, not as if your friend will come and tell you that I need an email list. I want people to know that I'm just coming up with the product, and you say, don't worry, I have email list. My client just volunteered email list. I will give you for free. Please do not do that. Try to comply with the law. So you have to treat their information with such sensitivity which they provide you. So how can you achieve this? So you can achieve this by coming up with strategies, coming up with ways that can help you protect your customers or business data, which could include cybersecurity measures and compliance with data protection regulation. That's the GDPR. And then address how you plan to handle data breaches. Of course, you're wondering there should not be any data breach. Okay, what if there's a data breach? How do you handle this? Communicate to the affected parties. Once a client knows that you have strong policy or strong privacy policy in place, they tend to trust your business more. I trust that person. He or she would never disclose. I feel like that's all banks have in common. Your money gets mistakenly, transferred into another person's account, and you want their details, and they tell you that you need to bring a court order, which is what they should do. You don't expect them to just give you their client's information, or they could even be sued for that. If you are one of those people that actually release your client's information to a third party, please do not do that. Desist from doing that, because the client can actually sue you for breaching data privacy. So one of the other ways you can protect your your asset as a startup is employee and partner agreement. I'm sure you're wondering, but I already discussed contract and agreement. I know I discussed this, but the importance of having employment contract, non-disclosure agreement, and intellectual property assignment agreement for employees and contractor cannot be overemphasized, which is the reason why I'll be discussing it again. So you need to ensure that there's an agreement between employees, between partners. You need to outline their do's and don'ts. What should you do? What should you not do? And then if you're looking at partners, how many units of shares do they have? State it out, what they should do, do this, do that, how much dividend they would be getting. And then you also have to ensure that this agreement clarifies ownership of work-related corporations, and it also prevents intellectual property disputes later on or later in the future. So you have to ensure that your employees are forbidden from revealing any restricted records, formula, recipes, like I said, or any intellectual property they might have, gotten due to the fact that they work with you. So the other way you can actually protect your business, your assets as a business owner or as a startup is business continuity planning. You know, as a startup, you need to come up with business continuity plan that can help you outline steps to take in case of unforeseen circumstances or events such as natural disaster, economy downtowns, or health crisis. Imagine a situation where, okay, during the COVID-19, most businesses actually crashed during the COVID-19. We know it was an unforeseen circumstance. We're not expecting it. But how do most businesses, how do you think they scale through? Like, you know, how do you scale through? You have to have a business continuity plan in place so that when things like this occur, you know how to move from there. You know, you have to address how you will ensure continuity of your operations, and then how you can protect your assets during challenging times. What do you need to do? Most times, when we just give people right to do certain things, we are not in our right mind. We just basically waive our right, and then they do all sorts of things, claiming they have power to do that because you give them that right. But I will not be going into that. We already discussed that earlier. So watch our previous session. Then I'll be going into founder and shareholders agreement. I'll not be explaining much. So if you have co-founders or directors or shareholders, most times you are not the only shareholder in the company. You have several shareholders, so you need to come up with clear agreement. If you are the only one in the company, of course you know yourself, there's no fight between you and yourself. But imagine when you have other shareholders, imagine with same shares in the company. So you need to create clear agreements that would help you outline ownership percentage. Okay, you own 50%, I own 50%, how you can take decisions, the process and the rules and responsibilities, and which process or which method will you use in resolving disputes when dispute arises. So this agreement will outline how many units of shares they own in the company, their responsibility, options for dispute resolution, things like that. That's why how will I put it? You need to get a lawyer. Most times you in your mind, or let me just come up with this agreement, and you go to ChatGPT. I know most of us do that. But having how will I put it, a lawyer coming, you know, you explain what you are going through, and then they think of the right thing or the right clause to insert in the agreements you want them to come up with, which is one of the best thing you can, you know, enjoy for having a lawyer. So the other one I'll be discussing is regular legal and financial review. So as a startup, you need to schedule regular reviews with legal and financial experts. Like I said, you know, when you see your lawyer one-on-one, that thing that has been paining you, that you feel like your business has been lacking, or, you know, maybe it's dragging your business behind, you can just divulge everything to your lawyer. Like, just tell him, see, Oga, my employee, or see what happened, just try to come clean. And then I don't want to go into this Yoruba proverb, but you know what I want to say. Someone that wants to bury you, you don't have to hide yourself. It's better you just come clean and let them know, so that they will know how to save you. And in this situation, they are not only saving you, they are saving your business, which is actually the source of your livelihood. So it's best you come clean, let them know, so that they will know which clause and which clause to insert in the agreement, and then they'll give you advice, or they can even help you check. I'm very sure those French companies did not just, they were doing business, so it was their lawyer or their legal department that let them know that there is a company using your trademark, infringing on your trademark, let's do this, let's do that, and they give them legal advice. So if you have a legal or financial expert in your team or on your team, they would let you know what and what not to do. So as a startup, you need to schedule regular review with your legal and financial expert. It will ensure that your asset protection strategies remain up to date. Even trademark. Now I've been saying trademark. There's a specified period of time your trademark lasts. So imagine you don't know and nobody's reminding you. You just think your trademark registration is still in place, just for you to find out that it has expired and another company has registered that same trademark. It's as if they were waiting for you to just forget and they will register it. And then don't let us forget, we think people are not watching, but people are watching. People are watching us, watching our step, watching our day-to-day activities, and then they can't just wait to just as if you just grab that reputation. But I will not be going into that. So I will tell you to remember, try to remember that your startup or your business or your company is unique, and seeking legal advice, financial advice, or industry advice from experts is highly recommended, and it will help you create a robust asset protection strategy that would tailor your it will be tailored to your startup needs, to your company needs, and it cannot be overemphasized. And I hope you've been able to take one or two points from what I've said, and would also like you to drop your questions if you have any in the comment section. And you can also reach out to us at Law Accent on Instagram or Accent Nominees on Instagram and LinkedIn. You know, any social media platform is always the same name, Accent Nominees and Law Accent. Thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you next time, next week. Thank you.